Right, yo, headbutts and slow blinks, good people. It's your boy Sterling Trap King Davis and my sister from another Mister.
I'm Shannon Jackson, and this is the Same Team
19
Pod.
Pod. What up,
In,
y'all?
in the closet over here.
Shannon is back in the closet, but only in her clothing closet.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, I don't know. I live in Florida, so
Don't
hopefully
say it.
those
Don't
people.
you say it.
I'm gonna say gay. I'm gonna
Oh,
keep
she
saying
said
it. I said it. Oh my gosh.
I love it. That's hilarious to me. That we've come to that point, but I don't want to get all political because today what we really talking about is compassion fatigue and burnout. Like,
Yes. Yes.
and that's
Everyone feels
one,
it.
everybody got to know about it. Everybody's going through it. We were we that's some of the reasons, some of the stuff we was going through. We didn't get to do our episode 3 as soon as we would like to, because of some of the stuff that we both been going through. And I know you all go through a lot too, but that's the main thing we want to talk about today. Shannon, I know I know you got some stuff you want to say, because
I got some stuff I want to say. And yeah, so first of all, for those of us that were looking for us last week, thank you for being patient. I feel like we're doing pretty good so far, keeping on schedule. So we're trying to post every Monday. So but I was traveling last week, and I was telling Sterling earlier that it was really good for me because I was kind of detached from my phone and social media when I was away, which I feel a lot of burnout, like digital burnout in general, because there's just so much going on in the world, and just because of how much I do online with not just Smush, but also my job. I do communication, so
yeah, you
I
got a
manage quite a few
full-time
social.
job.
Yeah, I have a full-time job, and I've got a huge project going on at work right now. So I have a really good job. Shout out University of Florida, go Gators. But anyway, yeah, so I had actually gone to visit my friend Anne in Missouri last weekend, and to help, but it's funny because I was actually helping her with her branding and social media and web stuff, but I was detached from my own. So it's kind of different sometimes when you're working on something that has nothing to do with yourself. I feel like, because I have those skills, I could help her, but it was good for me to be detached because I have been feeling really overwhelmed sometimes, and I think a lot of it is just pandemic. We're still in a pandemic, and for me, with everything that I do with Smush, I'm running all these social media campaigns, and I just sometimes it just feels a lot, and I don't know, it's a lot. And I also feel guilty because I feel that I'm not doing enough for animals, which
That's
because
common. That's
yeah,
that's common amongst rescue people. I think
yeah,
us to feel like no matter how much we do, somehow it's not enough. Like,
yeah. But I feel it's weird because I feel that I used to take photos every single weekend for the rescue that Smush came from. And then it's interesting because then I started doing more things for other rescues as far as using my creative skills to help, like kind of like I was doing locally. and and then it's just blown up to where then the pandemic came too, so it's not like people were in person as much, but I have felt that I miss doing that, but then I forget that the reason why I'm not doing that is because I'm doing all these other things, because Smush got so big and I wanted to do something good with her platform. I mean, I had a nonprofit up until last year, and I forget that stuff. And so I don't know, but I just have felt lately that I feel like I'm not doing enough all the time. But then at the same time, I get really annoyed when people ask me to do stuff, but I think it's because I am doing a lot and I don't realize it. And I was just saying this to Sterling on we were talking before we
Right.
started recording, and he was saying to me that, you know, a lot of people will feel that way no matter what you're doing. And because for me, it just feels, I feel guilty because I'm not fostering any kittens, and I'm, you know, but I try all the time to advocate for animals through Smush and, you know, creating content that helps. And I've got a Smushy 2 pillow traveling around right now in a
I
different
need to jump on Smushy too. I need
Smushy.
to
Well,
ride
we
with
have a, well, remember, we have a plan, Sterling. Remember, well, it started pre-pandemic that Smushy 2 eventually would come to you, and then you take the RV
right.
here. But then we ended up kind of doing that with Big Smush, and I came with you.
Yeah, we kind of did it with Big Smush a little bit.
Yeah. By the way, everyone, I took Big Smush to the airport and took her to Missouri with me. And it was so crazy because it's so funny. I love traveling with Big Smush because I think it's hilarious, because people are like, why is this girl walking around with a cat? Well,
cat.
yeah, but it was funny because I was in Missouri, and then I flew out of Arkansas to come back to Florida. And this woman came up to me and she said, do you like cats? Obviously. And I was like, yeah. And then we started talking, and it turns out that she ends up feeding 12 colonies and does TNR. So it was so cool. And I had all of my tips appreciated stickers with Smush with all the ear tip kitties. So, but it was really cool. And then I was like, oh, I was telling her about Smush and everything. And then they gave me a free coffee, which thank you
Oh,
to the
that was
people
dope.
in the airport. Yeah, I forgot the
dope.
name of the airport, but yeah, I was just going to, the lady ended up working at the coffee shop, and I was like, oh, it was cool. But you just
If
never
she,
know who you're
if
gonna
she
meet.
feeding,
But anyway, I don't know why I started talking about that,
if
but
she feeding 12 colonies, she might need to see this episode.
well, it was funny too because she said she gets a lot of flack because I guess where she lives, it's more of a rural area, and I think Best Friends Animal Society, they had been involved maybe with a grant or something. But it was cool though. It was cool. I also gave her same team. I put same team stickers all over. I was like, oh, by the way, we also have a podcast. So, and I told her about you, Sterling, because I'm like, you got to follow this dude. He does TNR from his RV, you know. But anyway,
That's the thing with, like what you were saying, the feeling guilty thing though.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm doing TNR out of the RV, but I still too will feel guilty because, and this the crazy thing, I had to check myself the other day because again, during the whole pandemic, even now, it's still hard to get spots for surgery. It's been hard. Like a lot of places, it's still extremely hard to get spots. A lot of people you got to set weeks ahead of time and things to that extent. So I was literally feeling guilty because I'm like, hey, I need to be trapping some more cats. And it's like, but why am I not? Because I can't. I can't. And a lot of times we'll get to a position like that. We'll get in a situation like that and then feel bad and feel guilty, but we can't. And I still have to ease up on myself because I'm doing what I can. So during this time, I'm funding a lot of projects in different cities. I'm doing a lot of education, so much virtual stuff, but I'm still helping. I'm still playing my part, still working on diversity, still doing a lot, but you know, it's always something that's in the back of a rescuer's head where it's like, I'm supposed to be doing more. I'm supposed to be doing more. That's when I think that's when it set in and start getting to you, like, and you just start feeling like, man, because I feel it too with, like you said, digitally, Shannon. You like how you said digitally, even with that, with a digital social media platform, I go through spurts where it's like, man, it's been 3 days and I haven't made a post, but I can't think of anything that I want to post for real. You know, I could post trapping cats, but that's what I always post. So I need to come up with something creative, and then I'll get stressed and feel bad. And then I'll get mad at social media because I can't come up with some content. And now I'm just all over the place with it. So
Yeah.
the,
Yeah.
the burnout is real.
It is. It's so crazy too, because I feel that for me, social media, it's always been really fun for me, and it is fun for me most of the time. And so I mean, I think that's what happened even when Smush got super big online. You know, that wasn't my goal. I just really, all my pets had, all my pets had social media. So I'm like, oh, okay, I'll just make another one for Smush. And,
Right.
you know, and it just evolved into what it is now. I mean, there was never any, it just kind of happened. I mean, all my animals had Facebook, you know, they still do, even the ones that are no longer with us. I'm like,
Right.
you can go
Right.
look up Candy on Facebook and see all these pictures, because I'm a crazy obsessive photographer, and I just really enjoy it. But I feel that because of how big it got for me, sometimes I feel that I it feels like work sometimes. And so then I look at people like you, Sterling, or like anybody in a rescue, that they're doing you know, they're taking care of animals, and or people that volunteer, they're walking dogs. A lot of times people don't take pictures and videos because they're focused on their one function, and
Right.
which is a good thing, because
Yeah.
that's why, Sterling, when you came here, when you came to Gainesville and we went to Operation Catnip, it was awesome because I I gave you Big Smush and said, here, go send it to me. And then I would create the content. And there was so much content because that's what I do. But sometimes I feel like, because it's something that I like or something, I don't know. I feel like, oh, I could be doing more than that. I could be doing more than that or something. I don't know.
It's when I think a lot of it too is when you wear all the hats. Cause I
Yeah.
tell so many people, and I was talking to one of my buddies, who I work with, the Black Thornberry, Nina Love. Shout out to Nina Love. She was just on the Ellen show, actually.
Oh, cool.
And I was telling her leading up to that, when she was on her way out, flying out to LA to be on Ellen, I was telling her how much things are gonna change with her platform
Mm,
growing. And
mhm,
that's the thing. It's when you put on so many hats. Because a lot of people say, okay, I'm just trapping, I'm
mhm.
just fostering, or I'm just adopting. But then you have to put on the business hat if you're gonna do a nonprofit. So you go in and you thinking, okay, I'm just gonna foster or adopt or TNR, but then you got to do the paperwork for the nonprofit. Then you have to, in order to raise funds or to get people aware or to educate, now you got to go on the internet or social media or something. And before you know it, you're putting on a lot of different hats that you didn't intend to put on at first. And
Right.
that's
That
why I can respect anybody that's
yeah.
do their thing. That's just like, hey,
Yeah.
I'm doing this. I'm not posting nothing. It's just tough because it's harder for people like that to raise funds. It's like a lot of times you need to get the word out to raise funds. So
Yeah.
it's tough, but I think putting so many different hats on, because I feel like I've been a little burnt out. I've hit a wall probably at every phase. I hit a wall with just doing cat rescue with no platform at all, which is how I started. And then you hit a wall when you're doing it and your platform start raising and building. And there's that. And then now at this point where I feel like the microscope is bigger now because it's more people watching me. So
Yeah.
it's pressure. It's pressure to do the content right, do the paperwork right, do the TNR right,
Yeah.
uh, bring people together, the volunteers right. Like it's a lot of things to do when initially it starts off with maybe one or two things that you think you're gonna do.
Yeah. That's why people have employees.
Yes.
But it's true. But it's interesting though, because a lot of us, I mean, and the thing is, people feel like exactly what, I mean, I know you're speaking of something specific that I also relate to, when you're a one person show basically doing all this stuff. And now we're doing a podcast, which is another thing, which is amazing. And I'm so grateful, you know, for that. But I think a lot of people, even without all the digital stuff, they feel like they have to, it's, oh, you need to post stuff, you need to post stuff all the time. But you know what, you don't. It's enough, let the people who like to do that. And then, you know, just like, okay, like i'm I'm answering my own thing. I'm like, God, I feel like I should be fostering cats or something. I'm like, no, because my skill has always been pictures and social media. I think I'm just feeling this way because I haven't actually been out to take pictures myself, you
Yeah.
know, because I've, so, but it's crazy because I think a lot of us feel that pressure because of the way the world has become, especially since the pandemic. Everything's so virtual. And I feel like a lot of people feel that kind of burnout anyway, you know, and
Yeah.
then, and then,
Add on.
uh, and then now it's like you go on your phone, and I posted something on my page the other day about this because I felt really upset about social media. Like I didn't
I
expect it,
thought you
but
was about to. I thought you was about to take Smush Page down.
I was gonna take Smush's page down because and then I had a talk with somebody actually that I met from online, which I've Erin Erin Katasko, I never can say her name. Say it for
Oh
me,
yeah.
Sterling.
Catastical meow.
Yeah, who, by the way, little Chris is gonna come on here one day. But anyway, I talked
Big
to her
Chris.
just online yesterday. We chatted briefly because she had replied to something that I posted, and built me back up, and which made me feel good because I was feeling like I didn't do enough. But anyway, I don't know. I'm just tired. I totally lost my train of thought, what I was saying.
The
That's how my
one
brain is lately. My
that's
brain is just mush. Oh, I know what it was. I was feeling like
is it
gross
smush?
about
Is your
smushing.
brain smush?
I was gonna smush my brain, yeah. And yeah, there's just so much lately. I feel that's how I am all the time. I'll start talking about something, and then my brain is just mush, and so it's smush. But it was because of everything going on in Ukraine, and then there's the whole like don't say gay thing here in Florida, and then just don't talk about Black people, like whatever. And so, but you see that on you see all this on your phone when you're scrolling, and then you see animals running away, you know, in Ukraine, and but then you see somebody selling you like a beautiful, I don't know, product of some sort.
Right.
And then I just was feeling like I don't really have anything to contribute right now because I feel so overwhelmed with the information coming at me. And that's the thing. I feel like a lot of us feel that way since the pandemic, even with having to communicate on Zoom all the time, you know, when, you know, I was saying before how I hadn't really been out any place too much to take pictures or anything. But a lot of that is because, well, during the pandemic, it was kind of just nobody really left their house. And well, and also phones have evolved so much that I feel like I don't even need to, which is actually nice because it's cool that people, you know, it used to be like people would take terrible pictures
Yeah.
and then you know you couldn't even see it. Now
Everybody's a photographer.
everybody's
Everybody's
online.
a professional photographer.
Yeah, exactly, which great, you know. So I've been in a place where I'm like, okay, that's good, I don't have to worry about doing that anymore, but I still want to help animals. So I feel almost in this place of I feel like I'm not doing what I used to do, but I'm doing all these other things that I think it's almost like if just I don't know, it feels like I'm not doing enough, but I know that I am. But because this is something that happened this past week is when I had come home from Missouri, I kind of took a couple days to just rest. Well, I had to go back to work, but then but then, you know, at night I was just chilling, and I've been watching stupid TV at night, which that always is helpful because you just have to sometimes. But I realized that when the person that has Smushy 2, which is a traveling pillow that goes on adventures,
Yeah.
I didn't realize that Sydney, who has Itty Bitty Kitties, the account, she's the one that had the cat named Wanda that we were trying to find a home for.
Yeah.
You know, through social media. Like when I saw her going out to the rescue in it's called, oh gosh, Watunga Community Cats, which is out in the middle of Oklahoma, and they just started, they do TNR and they do rescue for cats, which is awesome. But so this woman, Sydney, who she has Smushy 2 right now, she went there, and I felt so happy and I felt so grateful that she was there, and then I could share it and I didn't have to actually create the content. And so I should feel proud of that with my cat out there. And then I have this massive platform and I can share it. But for whatever reason, I was feeling just somehow that I'm still not doing enough. I don't know. I think we all feel that way sometimes.
It's
So
it's when it comes all at the same time too, when it's a
yeah.
lot of stuff, and it'll be a bunch of things. For me, it'll be a bunch of things, and the one thing that set it off. So I was already upset and fighting with Camping World, and
Oh yeah.
so Camping World, they finally fixed the things on my RV, but when I got it back, once again, the pettiness of there being mud and dirt in my cat's food bowls. And I know it's happening because I done went up there and complained and showed my butt. And so now they being petty with me with stuff like that. But I was upset about that because I was like, I'm not even gonna go in there and complain again. It's fixed. I'm glad that the things are fixed. They put dirt in my cat's food bowl. I'm gonna wash it out. So be it. But I'm already upset about that. And then there was I'm preparing for this Greece trip. So everything for this trip is expensive. Like sending traps out there, sending food out there, sending vet techs out there. Everything is expensive about doing this. So it's a lot to it planning this Greece trip. And I'm happy about it, but it's stressful, and I'm planning all of that. And then with all of that going on, I make a post. You know which one I talk about. I make a post, which was supposed to be, which was supposed to be a funny take on compassion fatigue and burnout. If y'all follow me on Instagram, y'all saw this post where I'm narrating it in a funny voice, but it's about a guy, and I think his name was Larry or something like that. But
It was Larry.
it
I
was
saw it on
Larry.
the airplane, but I didn't know all of the drama that happened with it. I saw it on the airplane, and then that they were like, please silence your phone or turn it into airplane.
They be going crazy on planes about your phone. But I didn't think it. I mean, in the video that I posted, you could, the guy is slap. He just loses it and starts slapping everybody. So I'm basically saying this is like compassion fatigue and burnout. People hit a wall and they mind. We ready to run out and just start bam, bam, just slapping everybody because we mad. If you hit that wall, you burn out. But in the post, I'm saying don't be Larry. Don't
Yeah,
be
you did
like
too.
Larry. So it's supposed to be a funny take on it, but with everything that was going on in my week already, and when people started coming on that post saying, you need to take this down, that man is slapping women and children. I don't want to see a man slap women and children. And I'm like, these people are actors. This is like a Saturday Night Live skit. And that's when I got upset. I was like, okay, because it was so much stuff at once. And that's when you just, put the phone down, take some deep breaths, walk away from it. I had to do that. Because it's too much stuff. Like I said, when you go out here and you're doing the work or the things that you want to do, you're doing your role, playing your part in it, and all the other stuff come at you is when it's like, okay, this is kind of, I'm actually out here paying for various TNR rescue cats in other cities. I'm actually out here rescuing the cats, doing the work, and then somebody comes to me about a post. It's like,
Right. Yeah.
that's where
Well,
it's like, oh,
yeah. Well, that's the thing, is that people can just be nasty online. They can. And so it's funny because I don't get a lot of trolls or hate unless I talk about gay people, which I posted this morning. So who knows what's there, but
about to get it. You
I,
did it. You said gay.
whatever. I am gay. So like, I'm like, I'm in the closet right now. We're recording the podcast, but it's just, I do feel that most people are feeling some sort of information overload regardless of what you're doing right now. And I not see that post until after, and I was away, and so I saw it, and then Sterling had texted me, and it was, usually you'll be like, oh, will you take a look at this? And
Right.
so I thought it was funny, when I saw it, but I also know what that feels like, because when you feel burnt out, So for those of you who did not see this video, it's just this guy. I don't know where did you find that? You just
I
found
don't
it.
even remember where
But it's this guy and he's just getting angry and he's just fake slapping. I mean, he puts his hand like next to the person's face. It's like
you
fake slapping.
You gotta tell us a fake slap.
It's a fake slap. But anyway, I mean, but basically it's saying when people get overwhelmed, burnt out, passion fatigue inside, that's what you feel like. So it's saying don't be like Larry. That's the guy's name that was doing it. He just didn't even care. Anybody would come up and ask him a question, the guy would just bitch slap him, you know.
Just loud,
and so yeah, and so but the thing is that I know personally I am someone who tends, when I am feeling burnt out, overwhelmed with whatever, you know, for me it's mostly digital stuff. I'm on my phone way too much, on the computer way too much. I need to get outside. I need to disconnect. But that's my thing, because that's what I
another thing too. Oh my goodness, that has, and I think we was talking about this before we even started recording, but one of the things that helped get me through getting over that post and Camping World and everything else is I've started back consistently going to the gym.
Yes, you said, Sterling sent me a picture this week when you sent me in the gym, because I was putting a same team. I was on the airplane. I think I posted it actually on the same team Instagram. Yeah. I was on the airplane and I left same team stickers inside some of the little like cubby holes in there. And then Sterling was at the gym. But yeah, you were saying how the gym was really helping you. And
oh man, because it's extra, the extra activity. And then the thing too, what I realized that with me, I'm an insomniac. I will be up, just up. That's how I got into trapping so many cats, because I couldn't sleep. And I'd be like, I'm just about to go trap late at night, 2-3 in the morning. I just trap because I can't sleep. But the gym, actually going to the gym, that helps me sleep now. I've been able to get a little better sleep because I didn't wore myself out. It's harder for my brain to just go still after I done had a good workout at the gym, and now I can wind down and pass out instead of just sitting, because I'll sit there and think. And I know other people, I know y'all do this too. Lay it in the bed, the day is over, you should be going to sleep, and then you be like, that tabby ain't gonna make it. That tabby is not gonna make it. I gotta go get that tabby. I have to go now. You would think about a cat, a rescue, a situation, anything. I've sat and thought about, not saying something to a guy. I'm thinking like, I should have told him this. I should have not worried about his feelings as much and taught him that he needs to do this with a cat. And I'll sit there before I go to sleep thinking about all the things and ways I should have said it to this guy. And I'm like, Sterling, go to sleep.
Yeah, that's that whole thing you were talking about. Remember, we talked about overthinking.
Oh,
don't you wish there was a way that you could just press a button and shut your brain off? I guess that's what meditation is supposed to help. I need to do that. I've been doing little bits of meditation here and there. That, and also getting outside and walking has been really helpful, because I think I may have posted about this, that I used to walk around the block with Candy when, for those of you who don't know, I had a greyhound named Candy, and she passed last year. And after she passed, I was gorgeous, brindle girl, I love her. But like, I was devastated. But I used to, I don't have a backyard where I live that's fenced. So, I used to walk her, and it was actually really good for me personally, because I was in a new neighborhood when I first moved back to Gainesville, and it connected me with my neighbors, and I ended up discovering a dog park, and but it was good for me getting exercise. And I feel that even if, because I'm a crazy obsessive photographer and videographer, I'm always taking pictures. That's what you don't even want to see my phone. But anyway, but when I used to walk Candy, I would walk her 2 and 3 times a day. And then when she died, I kind of went a little nuts there for a bit, but then I stopped walking there. And so it's actually been really healing for me. I've been going around the block and walking where I used to walk Candy. And it's funny because if you follow me on social media, all of Candy, all these cats in our neighborhood love Candy. And I've visited with them, and of course I had to take videos of them because I'm obsessive.
Candy's
to
good
take
with
pictures.
the cats.
But it was so fun. Yeah, I did used to have an account called Candy and the Cats. But and my cats here, like Smush, Simon, and Cecilia, loved Candy too. But anyway, it's been really helpful for me though in a lot of ways, because I feel like it's healing my heart, because I imagine that I'm walking Candy. But it was interesting because we're going back to the therapy again. I was talking to my therapist about how I was feeling really disconnected. I'm on my phone too much. I'm on my phone and the computer for my job. I'm on the phone and the computer for everything I do with Smush, and then and my photography. And so anyway, I said to her, like, I sometimes I don't leave my house for days. And she said, why not? And I said, well, I have no reason to since Candy died. And she said, you're reason enough. And so she gave me the suggestion to imagine, it's almost like we need to give ourselves, and I can say this to people that are listening, because if you're listening to this podcast, I'm sure you're an animal person. But the way that we care for animals, we need to care for ourselves, because a lot of the people that get into any kind of volunteering or rescue or advocating for animals at all are really, like, a lot of times we don't put ourselves first. So it's really important to do that. It doesn't mean that you're being selfish, because we have to take care of ourselves first before we can help anybody,
Yes.
animal or human. And for me, I feel like it's always been about people and animals, because that's just who I am. But I just get so overwhelmed. I feel like a lot with the people. Like, I don't know. Like,
We gotta remember, like, just like the airport, being on the airplane, they always tell you, you gotta put, in the case of emergency, you gotta put your mask on
yeah,
first before you go to put somebody else's mask on.
yeah,
Even if we, like most of us in rescue do, all of it, even if the majority of it is just all the animals, and it's not you. Understand, if you go down, it hurts the animals. Even if you
right,
gotta look at it that way, we have to,
yeah,
like Shannon said, we gotta take care of ourselves the way we take care of the animals, because we're the ones taking care of the animals. Gotta
right,
fix the fixers. I love that statement, fix the fixers,
yeah,
because it's a it's a huge deal. Like I said,
yeah,
I've had so many times where I go out trapping, and you see it when, especially with having volunteers, and you always see the volunteer that that's that's about to hit that wall, like everybody talking, and they come up with their food and they got that look on their face, and they start complaining. They're not even handing the food. They kind of throwing the food down because they mad about stuff, and it's like, oh man, they about to hit the wall, and probably don't know it. That's the
right,
crazy thing about it.
yeah,
The company I got started with in Atlanta, Lifeline, when I was with them, we had, and what I loved about it, outside of the fact that they taught me so much, but one of the things, we had a mandatory compassion fatigue and burnout training. And a lot of it was kind of common sense that you need to hear again. A lot of times we need to be told these things again. But the thing that was amazing was some of the stuff that they were saying, as far as not knowing that you burnt out or about to hit that wall. Like some of the signs, like some of the things that you can, like, when you become overcritical of others, or
mm-hmm,
when you can't get one situation, it's hard to move on to the next situation. Even though this situation is done, you can't get how it happened out of your mind. So now
right,
it's hard for you to mentally and even physically move on to the next project, because you still stuck on this one, and this is done. It's done, but you still worked up and revved up about it. So some of
yeah,
the some of the things that's one of the things in that class that I will say that was amazing and different for me, is that I was like, wow, the signs leading up to it. There's so many signs and things leading up to it that we don't even know. Mine's was
yeah,
being mine's was being I would get overly critical of myself, and not because of resources and things. It was because I couldn't get people to see or move how I wanted them to move. So I consider myself to have this platform, and I need to help people and educate. I should be able to communicate things. And it felt like to me, like, man, I'm not getting through. I'm not getting through. So I'm started to get mad about that. And I'm burning myself out about that over I'm not doing enough. Like you said, I should be doing more. I'm not communicating how I should. So that's oh wait, hold up, Shannon. Let me do this right quick.
But we're having a little technical difficulty right now. If we're Sterling, all of a sudden, so okay, you guys, we're recording on Zoom, and I could that whole time, Sterling, I could hear you talking, and so it's going to be fine for when I edit. But all of a sudden, your face was just frozen. But I could hear you talking, so it was like weird, like old, like B movie looked like. I don't know. But
that's you know why I froze? That's why I froze, because I said something I wasn't supposed to say. I literally grabbed the mic and said gay.
Oh, you said gay.
I said gay. It froze up. See?
Oh my gosh.
That's the problem.
You know what's so interesting is when you're talking before about, you know, being overly critical of yourself, and then also when you had that class on compassion fatigue, and some of the signs are when you start being overly critical of others. I find myself when I'm starting to get burnt out, and it's funny because it can come in waves, and I have realized that what I need to do when I start feeling overwhelmed is to stop and do nothing. Like that is and because it's all going to be there for me. It will all be there for me. And if I stop and take care of myself, hopefully, you know, for as long as I need to, but coming back, I will have more strength and energy to do what I want to do. I'll be like doing all these social media campaigns, like Fight for Cats 2.0, you know, but I feel like it's funny because I start feeling annoyed with people that for no reason. I feel like Larry, like that video, that's when you posted that, like I didn't really watch it until because I was kind of disconnected when I was in Missouri, which was nice. Although I have to say, Big Smush drove in a limo. I posted a picture of it.
Big Smush be living the life.
I know. I took Big Smush to a strip club, but I didn't go in, but I just stood outside and took a
Remember
picture.
Big Smush had the Charger? Like the Dukes of Hazzard Charger?
Oh yeah. So back in when that was last year around this time. That was so funny. So I went to rent a car and I had Big Smush. Big Smush is like a pimp. Like people always want to give Big Smush everything. So they gave me this orange Charger because it matched Big Smush, and I was riding around down in West Florida last year. So meanwhile, like Smush is just like, what the but anyway, like you posted that video, and so when I got back from Missouri, like I had a great time. It was funny, and people were just having fun with Big Smush, and like my friend has a bar, so like Big Smush was like behind the bar and stuff. but it was nice to have a little break from everything. But then I watched the video and I realized that I had been feeling like Larry inside, even though you wouldn't be able to tell. It was almost like any email that I got from somebody asking me to do something, because I get a lot of people asking me to share things. I mean, and the thing is, I care about all of them, you know, but I've had to learn I can only do so much, and I like to focus on the things that I feel, because I put all of my energy into what I'm doing, you know, so I try to focus on whatever I'm doing with social media for animals, that it's something that I really care about and that I feel really passionate about. So, but it's hard though, because all of the things that people ask me to share, I care about it. And so I've had to learn that it's okay to say no, but when I'm feeling extra burnt out, and I think a lot of it for me was seeing all those videos and stuff of the people in the Ukraine and feeling helpless, because I'm like, I have this huge platform. I'm really good at fundraising, but I don't even know what to do. And I know, and Sterling, you know this because you were in the group with Smudge Cat, the table cat, which is so funny because it's like this big meme, but I don't even know the parents' name.
And Smudge looks just like Alanis. I swear, it's hilarious.
Oh, Smudge.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, Smudge. It's Smudge and Smush. People get their names confused, but I know. But there's a person, it was a cat. There's so many famous cats now, I don't even know. But the cat, I forgot, but they were from Ukraine, and they actually had contacts in Ukraine. And so there's this big group chat of people with very large platforms trying to raise funds, but I guess the GoFundMe got shut down or something. But I mean, I don't know. I felt really helpless in general. And but the thing is, I know a lot of people have felt like that with in general. And
I
but
got upset about that too, about the Ukraine thing. I got upset
yeah.
about that too, because it was like, I wanted to help, and it seemed like the group that we was in, you keep finding different scam stuff, and I'm like, listen,
Mm-hmm.
I don't, I don't need
Oh
to
my God.
make anything. I don't need to make any profit or anything. I want to just help, and it seems like
Right.
everything I was running into, it was like, well, we're gonna give 50 cents off every
Yes.
$2 or something. It's like, what are you talking about?
Right, because they're trying to promote their own like brand
Yeah,
with
don't do
with
that.
and just give like $1. And like I got
Give it
so
all.
I know we're like Larry. We're like, no. But I got so annoyed this week because so many people were online asking for money. And I was just like, I can't deal with this right now. I'm just gonna kind of take a break. And because I started writing a post, I was pissed. And I'm like, because I think I actually did post something. I never know what I say, it just comes out. But anyway, I like whatever. Like what you read is just coming from my soul. I have no idea. Like, and I just move on.
Smush just moves you off of the keyboard and like, I got it.
Oh God. But on my own, I've gotten even like on my own, like I try not to Smush hardly uses any F-bombs or anything, but on my own, like whatever. But I was so upset because I felt like I was in a group with you, and then that one person, they kept finding all these scams, and I'm like, ugh. And everybody's doing a GoFundMe, and I'm just like, oh my God. And it was just felt like really overwhelming. And then I just started feeling really small too, which is weird because I had been feeling like really good and really good about our podcast and like trying to make a difference in the world and all these things, which, Sterling, you and we talk. I'm like, that's why I'm glad we're doing this together. But it's almost like, why am I even doing any of this? That's how I felt like I wanted to.
Oh wait, we got a blooper going, I think, and I'm about to take a picture of it, a video of it, because we need it for the blooper reel.
This is very authentic podcasting, guys. I don't even know now it says your internet connection is unstable. I
Oh,
don't
was it
know.
saying yours is unstable?
I think it was me. It just popped
Oh,
up to me. But anyway, everybody feels burnt out in some way or another. But I do feel like the world at large, everyone feels some sort of digital fatigue. And I don't know if that's really a thing. But
oh,
uh,
they were saying Zoom fatigue for a while. I heard Zoom
I
fatigue
heard
for a
that
while.
too. But
Yeah.
I actually yesterday, I was talking with Sterling, I was talking with you earlier about this, about how I accidentally left my phone at home yesterday, which turned out to be a blessing in disguise. So I have realized that I am kind of addicted to my phone, which I think a lot of people probably relate to that, no matter what you do.
No.
But and I don't know. I'm always available, and I always respond to text right away because I don't like to leave people hanging, and I can't do it anymore. But it was an accident. I left my phone at home, and I guess it was plugged in or something, and I was leaving to go wash my car because I had ants in my car. I don't know why, because I don't eat food in my car, but I had
Oh,
ants in
maybe
my
you
car.
parked. Did you park by a different tree or something like that?
I think so, because I
I had
Googled
that.
it, and then
I had that
yeah.
issue in my van before
You
I had the
did?
RV in my van.
Oh.
I was like but I had parked by some crazy tree or something like that.
I
I
think,
think that's what it
yeah.
was.
Well, it was weird though, because I actually was taking Big Smush to put Big Smush back into my car, and the ants were on the top of, or the very top of the driver's seat, like seat at the very top.
Mm.
And I was eye to eye with these big Florida bull ants. And I was like, ah, so, so anyway, I read what to do online, and it was like, move it away from where you were parked, go wash your car, because sometimes they can get under, I guess. I don't know, Florida
Yeah.
problems. Or I guess not even just Florida problems. But anyway,
trees.
yeah. So I moved it. So hopefully, I haven't been into my car since yesterday, but when I left my house yesterday, I realized I left my phone at home. And for a second, I felt like I was withdrawing from a drug or something, because I'm so used to having my phone, and not even just to text or anything, but a lot of times, like I went to one of those car washes that you go in, like an automatic one. So I'm sitting in there.
Ones I can't fit in.
You can't fit in there. No. They need to make one for RVs, like a really big one.
I think they do somewhere.
They probably do. And like trucks. I bet they do with trucks.
For trucks, yeah, for
Yeah.
big rigs.
Yeah. But I was in there, and then I was like, what am I going to do? I don't have my phone, because okay, this is how I'm going to tell you guys. If I have my phone, because I am a photographer and I'm also extremely prolific, I cannot I can't stop taking pictures. Like what you see, what I post on social media is like 1% of what's in my phone, just because I enjoy it. And I don't know, like if anything ever happens to me, just look in my phone, because there's my life. I've actually found like things when my bike got stolen off my front porch. I narrowed down the day when it was, because I take pictures all the time. Isn't that funny? So I know. But anyway, so I did not have my phone. And so normally I would be taking a video inside the car wash because it looks pretty. And I'm like, ooh, I enjoy making videos. I think it's fun. And I love I love it. It's fun. It's how I express myself too. So, but I was in there, and I didn't have anything. So I actually turned on the news, which then I was like, why did I turn that on? But I turned on the radio, and then it was really depressing. And I just kind of was there. Universe's way of getting me to connect. So then I went to the grocery store for the first time in a long time, doing Instacart. And I did on my phone for almost 2 hours yesterday. And I survived, but it actually was really good for me, because I realized that's what I needed to do. So it was almost like the universe's way of making me stop. And I felt less annoyed with the internet and just people in general, because I was feeling like Larry. I was feeling like that video. I was like, nobody talk to me, leave me alone. Why are you leaving me that comment? You don't even know me, I'm and I'm gonna say it, like this morning, somebody left me a nasty comment on my video of Smush in the kitchen, which is so stupid. Yes, but then okay, so this is real, you guys. So somebody left me a weird comment that it just annoyed me, and it was something I'm not even going to talk about what it was, because I don't, not like they're listening. They probably were a troll, but they wrote something to me, and so I was going to write back, and I actually did write back, but I didn't send it. But I was pissed, and so I was just basically telling them, why do you have to be so judgmental of someone you don't even know on the internet, blah blah blah. And so, but I screenshot it and I sent it to Jessica Josephs, who's Cole and Marmalade's mom, because we're good friends, and she understands, because she also has people on the internet that come and troll, like we all do. We all have it. But she's one of my people she's my soul sister. So, but she, like, we send each other stuff like that.
Hey Jess.
Hey Jess. We know Jess likes the podcast. She's gonna come on here one day. But anyway, I almost responded to that, whoever that person was, but I stopped myself and I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. But I did respond to it, but then I screenshot it and sent it to my friend and deleted it, because it was better to do that. But it was just, those are the kind of things that I feel when I'm not feeling a burnout, those kind of comments don't bother me, because I just think it's stupid and I just delete them. But when I'm feeling burnt out, that's one of my signs, is that I start getting.
I think that's one of the. Did we get a? I think that's one of my. That's a good move. I think it's not bad to practice, because I do it. I have let people have it in typing, and then I delete it just to get it off. Like some stuff, it's like, I can't believe they just wait a minute, and then I'm like, delete, because sometimes it's just, I think in therapy it was something like write a letter and
Oh
don't
yeah,
send it or something like that. And
right.
that's you writing it and getting it out sometimes because you don't need to. A lot of times people are trolling or just they probably burnt out too. They probably having a burnt
Right.
out moment themselves and they're inflicting other people with it.
Yes.
So a lot of times you gotta just hey, I've done it.
Yeah.
Type it up,
But yeah,
delete it. Don't even send that mess off. But you
I know.
gotta get it off sometimes. That's a tool that I think is not bad to use.
Yeah,
Type
and it
it up and
helps.
delete it.
Yeah, it helps. And sometimes it helps to share it too because you realize how stupid it is.
Right,
And
right.
also who I mean, the internet, that's the thing. And this is why it goes like for my burnout, which I guess we're all that we end up talking about just digital burnout. I think people everywhere are feeling that. And
Yep.
so it's just kind of it just gets to be where you feel like you don't even want to do it anymore, you
Yeah.
know?
And it's on every level. And that's I think
Oh
that's
yeah.
important too, is to understand for every role, part, person involved, is to understand that everybody's role is there's still a burnout and compassion fatigue component to it. Like I said, when I was only doing TNR and didn't have any platform, I would become burnt out on not having the resources to do what I want to do. I would become burnt out on not being able to reach the people I need to reach or save the cats that I wanted to save. And then you get to this level now, and like what me and you've been talking about today, Shannon, is it's the digital part of it,
Yeah.
or it's the having that microscope on you, where every move you make, somebody has something to say. Like I said, I could be out here trapping and paying for 50, 60 cats a day, and then somebody says, hey, that silly post you made me mad and you're bad for posting it. Then it's like,
Right.
oh man, like all what I'm trying to do out here, and this is supposed to be funny.
Right.
So
Well, you know what's so funny too is not funny, but just people, myself included, can be very judgmental by what people post online and automatically think it's about them if it's not about them. I've had that happen. And I mean, I write basically like a blog on my Shannon account, like so, and that's mine, I mean, all of it's mine. Nobody owns what I do. I can say whatever I want. But it's just, but I express myself by writing about my feelings, and I have been gifted with that, and people say it helps them, and so I keep doing it, but I don't say anybody's name.
right,
But sometimes, because I have a whole personal life outside of what I share online, it's just a snapshot. But it's interesting because I feel that no matter who you are online, we all have social media these days, which is why I am such an advocate for using social media for good. But because it can be so toxic. And I feel it too, but I don't say people's names ever, or I try to put it on me and to express my own feelings, but not everybody uses social media like
right.
I do, or I don't know. I feel that a lot of times people just automatically think something that you say is about them. I've had strangers be say, why did you post that? And I'm like, I don't know. Or friends think that something is
Yeah,
about them and it has nothing to do with them. I mean, and that's what it goes back to, is that whatever it is we are feeling is really about us, which is why we have to take care of ourselves, because all of us are going to own our own shit, basically.
yeah.
Am I allowed to say shit?
Yeah, you can say shit.
Do I have
Oh,
to
but
put
wait, wait, wait,
do I have to
wait.
put the explicit on
You can
there?
you can say shit, but here's what you can't say. Gay.
Gay. We should say it together. Ready?
Right.
1, 2, 3. Gay.
Gay. Oh, that's gonna be the
Oh,
thing. That's gonna be the thing. They're gonna be like,
gay.
did you see the last episode of the Same Thing Pod? They were singing gay
Gay.
in
Gay
unison.
all the way.
I love it. I
Oh,
love it.
black.
Gay black.
Gay black.
That
Oh my God.
we are
We're
we
tired. We're tired, y'all. Like
I had to. That's one of the things. Like I said during the week, that's one of the things that's been going on lately. That's added to the burnout, compassion fatigue. Because that was just, maybe because I'm older and I come from different times or whatever. But I can't believe it seems like we're going in reverse with that one. That was
I
real surprising.
know.
And that one, I was like, wow, we can't in a place where we're supposed to learn. We can't
Yeah.
learn about certain things. We can't talk about like that's I don't, but like I
We're
said, I
gonna
don't
we're gonna talk about it.
right. We gonna talk about it. But I don't, I ain't gonna we can say that one for
Yay.
another one because I ain't gonna be too political on here right now, at least.
Whatever. I mean, people say anything is political these days, so I don't even know. I'm gay, so am I a walking political statement?
I'm
And
black, so
you're black,
yeah,
so
black nails.
we're,
So that's
we're just
yeah,
walking political statements.
right. It's something always to say there. Oh, but
Gay and
Shannon,
black and whatever.
y'all see I got my green for Saint Patrick's Day coming up. I got my green on.
Oh yeah. I
Yeah.
have a green I got a green bag. It says Happy St. Patrick's Day, like a reusable bag from the grocery store. I'll probably Smush was in it last night. So I was like, oh, I should post that picture because she has no idea it's St. Patrick's Day, but
Right. It's
gotta
some
wear the green.
it's some patron that's something it's somebody else like a cat lover's patron, some type of saint for St. Patrick's Day. It's also some cat guy too that relates to. I gotta look that up
Oh,
too.
I don't
Something
know.
of cats that's supposed to be the
Oh,
same.
like a patron saint of cats.
Yeah. I think that's
There's
what the day.
Saint Francis is the patron saint of animals.
Oh, really? I think this one is just
I think
cats
so.
though. But the
Oh,
animals is dope. That's dope too, because it's all animals. It's all love. It ain't
yeah,
just
I found that out in Puerto Rico. There's a shelter that I went to. Shout out to this shoot. Now I can't remember their name. Stella and Delamar, their shelter's name. I'm telling you, my brain is mush. So one of the shelters that I'm gonna put it in, I'll tag them later on
yeah.
the thing. But one of the shelters that I have gone to back when I actually used to leave my house, in Puerto Rico, they had that saint. It's like Saint Francis shelter, but it's Puerto Rico. I can't, it's in Spanish, so I never remember. So I'm sorry, guys. But anyway, that's how I knew about that saint, because there was this beautiful painting of it and of the saint, and he had all the animals around him. But anyway, they have a shelter that Delamar, who's one of the shelter workers, she stayed in the shelter with the waters rising during Hurricane Maria and had no cell phone, nothing, and was up there and then survived with all the animals. Didn't know, like, she had to, there's a 2-story, I think it was an old like distillery or something made into an animal shelter in Puerto Rico. And so basically on the second floor of the shelter, she had to get all of the animals up there, and she rode out the storm with them and survived. And so I made a video about it. And so anyway, but when I was there at that shelter, they had that particular saint. That's what the shelter is named after. So that's how I found out. But I just love, like, that's what I love to do. I love to tell these stories of people that do work for animals, and that's my gift that I have. And so I've always tried to use it for that. But I think that's why sometimes, though, I feel like I'm not doing enough, because I feel like I should be doing something more in like fostering or something. But it's just, I'm tired.
That's why we gotta, when we feel that stuff, that's what the whole compassion fatigue and burnout thing is about. When you feel that stuff, I mean,
Yeah.
all of those things, stop, take a deep breath. We
Yeah.
always say in therapy,
Yeah.
working out is not bad. And like this too, this is something I wanted to say earlier too that I didn't get to, because me and Shannon always yelling same team, and we mean it. But same team doesn't mean saying yes all the
Mm-hmm.
time to everything. And
Mm-hmm.
same team doesn't mean, hey, I'm gonna just go out of my way and work with somebody even if they being difficult or I can't work with them. Same team is just not working against. Like there will be situations where you can't say yes, but you can give a kind no. And there will be sometimes you can't work with somebody, and that's fine, but you don't have to work against them. You don't
I'm
have to
so glad
go,
that you said that. I'm so
because
glad
it's
that you said
such a
that.
big deal. I see so many people saying that, and it's like, same team, man. I can't be cool with everybody like that. And I'm not, no, it's not that you cool with everybody. Everybody not gonna hang out, but I don't have to be against anyone. I don't have to
Right.
work against you. I could just step aside, move away, but I don't
Yeah.
have to be against you. So I think
That's like
that's
that like Michelle Obama said, when they go low, we go high. It's the same kind of thing. It's just, but it's hard. It's so hard. Like I find it hard sometimes because people really annoy me and I can't help it, because when people are doing things that I feel aren't right, I feel, sometimes I feel like very offended by it. And then I just get so annoyed and I'm just like, oh, that person, but rather than give the energy to that, I'm trying to not do that and number one, take a break, go for a walk, like something will happen and I'm just so annoyed. And it's rather than put my energy onto what somebody else is doing wrong, I need to take care of myself. Because it's, why is that annoying me so bad? Like that, it's usually the things that annoy us, they annoy us for a reason. And so it's really about us. So it's, this person is doing this and we don't like it. And, like for example, I don't like when people exploit their animals online. And I hate it because I don't want to perpetuate that, because I have a cat that looks different. Sometimes I wish Smush looked normal, whatever, because I just don't like that. I don't like that. Smush is not my cash cow at all. Like I have lost money doing this because, because I mean, but you know what I mean, but I get
yeah.
really annoyed by that. And then I'm just like, fuck this shit. Like my tattoo on my
Show
wrist
your
for
tat.
those
Yeah, I was
who
about to say
don't
you
know.
gotta show the tattoo.
But I've realized that rather than get really upset about it and obsess about it, because I can be really obsessive in my head, because I like to be in control, and when I feel like I can't control something, I get really upset about it. But I can't control anybody but myself. So rather than have that negative energy inside of myself, I think it's important to feel it. I can feel whatever I want. Like you said,
Yes.
Sterling, you go to the gym. And so I'm excited that the time just changed and hopefully the weather stays nice here in Florida, because I want to go, like we have a place called Sweetwater Wetlands here and it's beautiful. And during the spring, I like to take walks over there. And so but I'm going to shut my phone off, but it's so important for me to focus on what I can do for myself that has nothing to do with animals, nothing to do with the internet, nothing to do with other people, but just me and the universe. Because to me, like God is in nature. And so I get a lot of solace from going outside and just being one with nature. And because I can get really disconnected kind of from myself, because I mean, most of us spend a lot of time digitally on things, but even just in general, I can get stuck in my head sometimes. So, and I think since everything with Smush has gotten so big, and then also the pandemic, virtually, my job at UF, like that's everything is everything is online, and so, but I feel like when I start feeling really overwhelmed with everything, the thing that helps me the most is taking a break and getting outside. And if I want to take my phone and take pictures, fine. I mean nobody, I'm trying to limit my time on my phone, but it's important to take a break, because when you put all that energy into what other people are doing that we don't like, it takes away from the good that we can be doing. So, and I just want to make a difference. I just feel like I want to make a difference for animals. I want to make a difference for people. I felt like that my whole life, which is, I feel that really strongly, but with that comes a lot of like, I don't know, I feel I put a lot of pressure on myself to be perfect, whatever that means. I don't even know what that means, but I feel that when I start feeling just overwhelmed, and like Larry in the video, I need to, because I want to slap everybody inside, but you won't
That's
know that I
crazy.
feel,
Yeah.
well, you will know if you know me. If
Yeah.
you know me in person, I mean, my eyes will tell you how I feel. I have an old boss of mine, he he used to tell me I had no poker face at all. He's like, Shannon, check your face, check your face. But it's true, like, because I'm very, like, I've worked really hard to be an authentic human being. For those of you who don't know, I struggled with anorexia and bulimia from age 15 to 32. I'm 46 now, so woo woo recovery. But I still struggle with my emotions and not wanting to numb them, not wanting to disconnect, because it's just, I'm a very feeling emotional person. So when things happen, I get really pissed. And so I will be on the inside, like seething. And in the past, I used to take it out on myself. I don't do that anymore, thank God. But but I'm trying to find, like, we all need positive coping mechanisms for the things that we feel. And so, like, when something's bothering us that someone else is doing, they're like those people doing those shady GoFundMes and stuff. I get so pissed, but there's nothing I can do about it. There's nothing I can do about it. What am I going to do about it? Nothing. So, and me like thinking about it over and over again is just taking away from the good that I can do with an actual, I mean, I feel so proud that Smush's community, like, we raised $12,000 in 1 week for those cats and dogs in Southeast Asia. Like, that's amazing,
Yeah, that's
and
dope.
I feel really proud of that. But when I focus on what other people are doing, I feel like then it squelches my own energy, because I just, and then I just get over it. I'm just like, why do I even bother? Which is so counterproductive. So
Right.
yeah.
Is that how it works in math? A negative and a positive is a negative, right?
A negative and a positive. Why
The
are you
positive
asking
don't
me
make the
that?
negative. Because I think
Hold on. I gotta look it up. It's been a long time since I've done any math, Sterling.
I was about to go into how you gotta just get away from the negative.
You're right. A negative
walk away.
Oh.
Kindly walk away from the negative, because if you sit there in it, then you'll become that. And that's the thing.
That's so good. It's so true.
A fight or an argument. If you get into a fight or argument with somebody, even if you win that argument, it's the energy where both of y'all lose. You still hold that energy the way they hold that energy when y'all walk away. So that's a lot of times it's best to try to just positively walk away from that. If you can't work together, you don't have to work against. But it's no point sitting in that negative space. That's the goal. You want to get out of that negative space as a whole.
Wow, that just blew my mind, because I guess I hadn't thought about it in that way in a long time. Like, as far as a negative and a positive makes a negative. I hope that's really true.
Somebody like we go. Somebody in my DMs like, Sterling, you're not true.
No, but I think you're right, though. I think you're right, because when it's just like when you multiply anything by 0, it's 0. So, but I do feel that way, and I also think that a lot of, like, how you find your tribe of people. I mean, even within animal welfare, I have the people that have become, my people. And it's interesting because they're different people all over. And a lot of them I've met either through my photography travels with, I've traveled with the vet school a lot. And, I've gone to Puerto Rico with the Salto Project. I've done a lot of stuff with people doing work for animals, because I'll go and make video and stuff for them, because that's what I do. But it's awesome because those people that I connect with energize me, because they're positive forces energizing me. And I know even when I used to work every weekend at the pet rescue here, and that's how I started, was taking pictures. I found my tribe there. I found my tribe. My friend Anna, I love her. She moved away, but it was just like the people that I felt like I could talk to about the negative stuff, but also keep doing the positive stuff. And that always makes me feel good, because you do have certain people, because of your personalities and stuff, and people get different energies from different people, because we all don't have the same energy. So maybe somebody who seems really negative to me, maybe they're just a crotchety person, and they're just like, but like, why focus on their crotchetiness? Is that a word? Crotchety? Like crotchety.
We got to
Yeah.
use that one.
I had crotchety. Like I had a cat. I had a cat named Zoe a long time ago, and I used to call her crotchety because she would meow like like that. but but anyway, yeah, I think you're right though about that whole negative and positive, because I know like when I talk to you, Sterling, we relate to each other, and I think it's because of where we are right now with animals. Even though we do totally different things, we work together. That's why I love when you can come and teach TNR and I can just follow you around and make all the video for you,
Right, 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 right.
but
And I be needing that too.
I
Heck.
know. I know.
So
But
much.
but it's like I know that certain people that I have met really energize me, but then others it really drain me. And it's
Yeah,
even though we might be on the same team. So it's kind of, you don't, like what you were saying before, you don't have to necessarily be with people that aren't of your people, but don't work against them. Because
exactly.
yeah, so but but when we're all taking care of our own personal selves, I feel like most people are just less focused on others.
I've heard that. I've heard that so many. I've seen it so many times where people would be like, "This person is this and they that, and I don't do this and they do this
Yeah.
wrong." And I'm like, "Okay, wait, is it really all of that, or do you just not like what they do? And if you don't, that's fine. Just don't work with them. But you don't have to go spreading that and working against them. Like
Yeah.
it's no need for that. And I see that a lot. I'll see so many times where one volunteer tell me this other volunteer is basically scalping animals at their house. And I'm like, is that really happening? Are they really
Yeah.
doing that? Or are you just really displeased with them as a person or their procedure? Which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But again, you don't have to work
Yeah.
against them. You could just
Right.
step away. It's
Well,
fine.
and you know what? Shout out to all the people that keep showing up.
Right.
Because it's really hard to be a human in the world who also loves animals, because most of the, like, again, most, I've said it before and I just know it, most of the people that love animals, that want to do something in their life to try to help them, like them probably more than people. And I'm talking about like shelter animals, animals that are discarded. I mean, most of us that are drawn to any kind of rescue, TNR, like anything within the animal welfare world, are people that a lot of times we have deep wounds within us that I think we get something from helping these discarded animals, because that's why it can be so healing for ourselves. But
Oh, yeah.
you think about that, there's a bunch of people that probably have all these deep wounds like all together. And so we're all a bunch of little sensitive
Right, right.
sensitive people, and everybody has a different reaction to things. Like some people might be legitimately, like the video with Larry, slapping people verbally left out loud, and then some people might be like me, that's just giving people a weird look and like being like, I'll see you later, like F this
You just killed it right there. That's a serious point, because there are a lot
yeah.
of people verbally being Larry.
Oh yeah.
Passive
Yeah.
aggressively being Larry, not actually the physical slap, but
Oh
just
yeah.
constant verbal.
I mean, we've all done it. Every
Oh yeah,
person here has done that. If you haven't been passive aggressive as a human, then
I've
I,
been,
I
I've
don't
been
even know.
king, I've been king petty with it at times. I've been trying to get people to
Yeah.
to fix a cat, to let me fix this cat. Like the guy that I had a guy that wouldn't let me fix his cat before because he didn't want the cat to lose his manhood. Oh, I got so petty with this guy over time. I got so
Oh my
petty with
God.
this guy over time. I mean, to the point all the way down where I was like, what if it was, what if you got your male cat running in and out the house, impregnating cats?
Oh
What
my
if he
God.
come back with a disease? I started getting real petty about it, but I had to
Yeah.
step back, stop. And what's crazy, when I stepped back, when I got out of the conflict, the debate and stuff, he was ready to get the cat fixed.
Oh, of
Same
course.
thing with the
Yeah.
crazy part about it is the same thing with Camping World. I had to learn the same thing. I went up there.
You better watch out. Camping World's gonna sue you.
They bet will.
By the way, when I was driving home, I flew out of St. Petersburg, and when I was driving home, I passed Camping World, like the sign for it on I-75, and I thought of you, and I was like, oh, Camping World.
Rapping world, I don't want no trouble, y'all. Don't come for me. Y'all done already did enough. All right. I
Hey,
just want to
no,
live
you
in
know
my
what?
RV and be good.
Gay.
That's how we about to get out of here, y'all. Because
Black.
we'd have been on for a minute, but that's the way we gonna
It's
get out of here
yeah.
with one more black.
Gay, black.
Gay.
Yeah. You know what? So I think that basically we all just sometimes need to disconnect and find the things that recharge us rather than focus on the negative, because it's really hard, and digital burnout is real, and burnout in general is real, but the digital, we
Yeah.
live in the digital age. I mean, Sterling's sitting in his RV in Georgia and I'm in my closet here, my gay closet.
I'm in my black RV.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
We're gonna get ourselves in trouble.
I know, whatever. Like, we do this ourselves. It's all good, smush the beef. We're smushing our own beef. So we
Right,
don't,
right.
so we're not like Larry and go smush people's beef in the face.
If y'all haven't seen that post, please go look
Oh
at
my
it.
God.
Come to the Same Team Instagram, Same Team Pod Instagram. Comment. Let us know what you think about that post, if you can relate or whatnot, because I thought it was hilarious. We thought it was hilarious, but
Yeah. Yeah, it was. I mean, I understand that people get triggered by things, but that video was not anything that I thought needed a trigger warning.
it's like sketch comedy, I thought, but
Right. But the point was that don't be like that guy,
yeah,
because
don't be like
don't metaphorically slap people in the face.
right. Don't physically do it. Don't verbally do
Don't
it.
physically do it either.
Yeah,
I know.
please don't do
Don't
that.
physically do it either. But yeah, take some time, get outside, disconnect if you need to. And also too, something else that I realized, that you cannot do everything yourself.
Oh my goodness.
And I know that I do a lot from Smush as myself, because this is how I volunteer, is like all the stuff that I'm doing with Smush. But even with the things that I'm doing with other organizations, it's amazing. And I have learned now that I don't have to be in control of all. I mean, obviously, when people are using Smush's image, like, I want to make sure it is, I approve of it. But for example, it made me feel so good when the person that has Smushy 2 right now, that she did that with social media. Like, that made me feel so, and she did such a great job. I've seen so many people doing so many awesome jobs with social media, and it makes me feel so happy, because I have felt, like I said earlier, when I started out volunteering, I was pretty much the only person taking pictures. I was the only person at the rescue that Smush came from, taking pictures every day. And then I started posting. I mean, they had their own social media, but like the pictures were mine. And I felt like if I didn't do it, that I felt, well, who's going to do it? Who's going to do it? But it's cool though, because other people started doing it. And somebody in my own rescue community told me that they learned from me, and it made me feel good, because, I mean, but in the past though, I would have felt maybe more, possessive of that. It's like, oh, I'm the photographer, but it's like, no, now I'm so busy, I'm just like, no, you go be the photographer. Like, I don't even have time. Like, I hardly even take pictures. I mean, that's why I love to just take pictures of whatever, anything. But I'm just it's cool when you can teach somebody else how to do something and they do it. So when Sydney, who's the girl in Oklahoma, when she took Smushy 2 out, it was so cool. Her social media was amazing. And I didn't even have to do anything to it. Because a lot of times when people will have the traveling Smush, they would just take a picture of it and not say anything. She wrote a whole story. And it was so awesome, because I was feeling so burnt out. And so when I had come home after I had turned off my phone and I had all these posts, all I had to do was hit share. And if I felt like adding a song or something, but it was amazing. It was so, yeah, but in the past, I think I would have felt like I have to make sure that I don't know. It was really cool to see that. And then also having other people that I talked to saying how I felt insignificant and how I wanted to delete Smush's Instagram, told me not to do that. A lot of people told me not to do that, but it made me feel better. But I don't know. It's just,
Yeah, I was like, please don't do that. Don't do that.
I'm not gonna do it, but I do. Yeah, I'm not gonna do it, but it's just I never expected all of this. And it's just kind of, sometimes it just gets tiring sharing my life, which is weird, but I don't know. This is the day and age we live in. Don't we all do it?
Right.
Don't we all do it? I mean,
We
in
all
some
do
way
it.
or another,
That's
all
no
of us,
exception.
anybody,
Yeah.
even
Even in music, when I was still doing music, we were at a point even in music where the music wasn't enough. People wanted to know you personally,
yeah,
especially in rap. In hip hop, if you say a verse and you talk about something you did in your verse, the audience want to know that happened. They want to see you do it. They want to know. So if you a tough guy in your raps, they want to know if you a tough guy in real life. Like people want to now be more connected, more in your life. I've heard people say, "Man, I got to get on social media so I can sell records." So it's crazy how that ties in, because we're all putting our lives out there now, and that can be a lot.
it can be a lot. I mean, that's the thing. It's just, that's why it's so important to check out sometimes, because and a lot of people have deleted their social media,
Oh yeah,
I mean, I think because I post now so much publicly, like I don't even have, I used to have a private one. I'm like, I have way too many social medias and I just don't care. I'm just like, whatever, I'm just going to post whatever comes out. And that's good. I mean, but then with Smush, the stuff I do with Smush is a lot more, now that I'm doing all of these branded campaigns and
yeah.
stuff, and using the social media platform to reach people on a bigger level. Smush just ran through. I'm like, and she's like, you guys need
It's
to
Zoomy
stop.
time.
She's like, it's time to stop talking, guys. The podcast is over. So no, but seriously, I think that we all just need to encourage each other too, no matter what we're doing. And also as far as anything digital, it's okay to disconnect. You cannot be available all the time. And I know that there are people out there in rescue that are afraid to turn off their phone. I
I,
know that. I know that.
I need to Nina Love, Black Thornberry, because I was just talking to her. She will not. That's my girl. You need to cut it off. It's okay to not be there all the time, because you actually can't. You can't.
Right.
That's why we same team and there's many of us, because one of us can't be everywhere.
Right. That's why when Sydney had Smushy too and was traveling around, I was like, wow, this is awesome, and this is crazy, because I feel like, oh my God, I have to do everything. I have to do everything. But it's like, no, I don't. And so what happens when we actually share? Like everything that has happened with Four Paws, with Fight for Cats, like for those of you who don't know what that is, it's a huge campaign with Four Paws USA that we are battling the cat and dog meat trade in Southeast Asia. But there are so many people involved with that. Like obviously they're the people out there doing the work, but then all the people that post on social media, it's so cool to see all of the people doing different things coming together. And for me, I created this campaign because social media is my thing. I mean, it always has been. I mean, that's probably also why Smush got so big. It has nothing to do, like, that's why I wish she looked kind of normal sometimes, because I don't want people to think, oh, I'm gonna have a famous cat, I'm just gonna go find one that looks different. I'm like, Smush is just my baby. I love her so much. I wouldn't care if she is really cute, but it's just,
Super cute.
anyway,
She's
she
a
is super
diva.
cute. She's a diva for real. But anyway, I think that we all just need to give ourselves a break. We all need to give ourselves a break and just get outside and take some
Get
time and
outside,
yeah.
breathe,
But and also
meditate,
too,
work out.
Yeah. And also rely on other people that you do connect with, that you trust. Because for me, those people that I was just talking about with Four Paws and like all the different partner charities all around, all around the world, there's like 2 charities in Vietnam, which I want them to come on here sometime because the way they work together
Yeah.
as organizations are amazing. They
You think they would? Would they come on? They should come on. Yeah.
Oh my God, yes. Vietnam
Get 'em
Cat
on here.
Welfare and Pause for Compassion Vietnam. Like I've been working with them now, like through Smush, through social media, trying to help them with their social media. Their social media is amazing now. But anyway, beyond social media, the way that they work together, I mean, I know I'm watching from afar, but I also talk to both of the directors from both of the charities. They're always helping each other, and it's really amazing. And then, so it's them, and then there's another charity in California, and then I'm working with the communications team with Four Paws, but to orchestrate this whole social media fight for cats thing. But
I
it's
need to start
so
putting up more of my
cool.
stickers. I still got more
Oh
fight for
yeah.
cat stickers I need to put up.
But we do it every Friday, and I've had to learn because I was feeling really overwhelmed with that, because I mean that was like, I mean it was like a second job, like and now it's kind of running itself, and it's cool because we post on Fridays, but it's really cool to see the different people taking the lead each Friday to post.
Yeah.
And so it's not just me and the communications team, and it's really cool to see how everybody works together. And then also because everybody's working together, and I know I'm speaking specifically to social media because that's my thing, but it can be like with anything,
Yeah, it's
the
still
more
anything. Yeah.
you work together. Oh, guess who's here? The more you work together, the
What's
more
your
you can
name?
do.
Smush.
Oh, do you hear her? Hi, baby. Smush is like,
She's like, I'm
just,
out of here.
she's like, you guys all just, stay on your lane, focus on the ones that you care about, and then just focus on the mission. Like, Sterling, you always say that the mission don't quit. The mission doesn't stop. And we
Don't
all
stop.
have different skills. Like for me, my skill is using my creative skills to advocate for animals. That's what it's always been, and then I feel guilty because I'm not doing other things. But you know what? Take your skill and use it. If your skill is trapping cats, go do that. If your skill is going and walking dogs at a shelter, go do that. If your skill is going and taking pictures at the rescue, go do that. I mean, what else? There's so many different things. You can do fundraising, you can do you can foster,
So
you
many
can.
different ways to help without trying to do everything.
And
And
it's
that's
not
the
a
thing.
competition. It's not a competition either.
These phones here,
Hmm.
we how many times do we recharge them a day versus how
Oh,
many times we recharge ourselves?
that's
It's
so
okay to
true.
take a charge because I don't let this thing die.
Yeah. Yeah. With that, I think that is the takeaway. That and gay.
Black.
All right,
About to
guys.
get out of here, y'all.
Time to go. So thank you for tuning in this week. I hope that, we opened up some kind of conversations about burnout, and, hopefully that you guys go and do something good for yourselves this week, and combat positive with positive, and try to just go outside and scream or something for the
Right.
negative.
And come to the Instagram page and tell us how y'all released a little bit.
Yeah. And don't be like Larry in the video.
Don't be like Larry. Peace out, y'all.
Bye.
Peace.